This episode is brought to you by FairDesk, a crypto derivatives trading platform founded by 6 former Binance execs and 3 former Morgan Stanley architects. FairDesk is a company focused on building a platform that enables traders to profit from both rising and falling markets. Sign up today and CB will credit you up to $600 in trading funds. For more information, visit fairdesk.com, link in the description below.
Let's do it live once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis with yours truly, Crypto Blood. I'm in the building. Hope everyone's doing well today. It is Thursday or Wednesday? Wednesday. I'm ahead of myself today. It is Wednesday, hump day. Hope you guys are taking it easy today. We got some very interesting topics I want to discuss with you, man. I got some 2 Satoshis for that ass today, let me tell you. But of course, before getting started, link in the description below. You just saw the 30-second drop. FairDesk, yes, they partnered with CBTV. Actually, it's a very good exchange. So check them out if you need somewhere to trade. And of course, check them out for sure if you're looking to trade with the Bloodalytics trend signal service. It's live, man. We got some good trades today. We're getting it in today, ladies and gentlemen. We saw some movement in the markets finally. And, hey, all we need is something. And we're going to take advantage of it. And we're going to make money with that Bloodalytics system. So, shout out to Sean C is in the building. I'm good, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Always here. I'm appreciating the support, bro. Dennis Valarovic. God, you guys kill me with these names. Mike Perez, I can say that one. Great. Easy enough. Crypto Yo, you bullish or bearish on BTC next 24 hours? We're going to look at that right now, Crypto Yo. It's not looking good now. Not looking good. Wisdom Bar is in the building. Thanks for tuning in. He's one of our premium members. I've got an interview dropping early release for those who are members. That should be dropping later tonight or tomorrow. Probably later tonight. Illmatic or Cryptomatic, I should say, is in the building. Ayo. So let's take a look at the technicals before we get really into the nitty gritty. Oh man, thought we were, gonna sustain ourselves above that trend line. It didn't happen. We got a hard slam down here this hour. This was this morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. Hard slam. It was a rise up and then a slam. These moves look very artificial anyhow. The move all the way from the bottom, to be honest with you, our low of 17.5 kind of looks artificial. It's getting more artificial. This looks okay. All right. But we get longer in the tooth, longer in this trend upwards. It's starting to look a little artificial. Like they're trying to prop it up. They meaning, I don't know who. Could be whoever. Exchanges. I don't know. But these little steps up we're seeing, and then like the drops, it's not looking organic to me. But to say the least, we are below this trend line, which is bearish, guys. Back slightly bearish. Won't be fully bearish until we drop below the bottom one, the outer trend line. That's when I would go full on short if I were you. Now, Bloodalytics, we get it in regardless. All right, so we made money on the spike up. We took profit. 50% or more of your profits off. We went long. You can't see that right now because it's delayed by 24 hours. But we did take profits up here, and we went short at some point. Not going to explain exactly where, and we took half our profits here. So check this link. Let me drop it in the chat room for you. You will need, as you see on the screen there, you'll need a TradingView Pro or better account to fully see this in the most accurate way. It's because it's a certain time frame or resolution that I'm using that you have to have a pro account or better to see. All right. You could technically, I don't suggest it because I haven't back tested or anything. You could put that chart on 15-minute and get something very similar, but it won't be exactly identical to the trades that we're taking right now. Let's see who we got in the chat room. Cinny Minnie is in the building. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, Cinny. Wisdom Bar says, you think this slam is from all the ETH merge talks? No, I don't think so. It's not big enough. Even though it was a slam, it wasn't that big of a move down. So hit them up, y'all. Yes, sir. Smash those like booties, please. Smash them hard. Smash them hard. Let's get those likes up. 19 people in the building at the moment. We're just getting started. But hey, Cindy Minnie says, was there a spike in the volume? I mean, on what time frame? Yes, there was a spike in volume. Really, you start to see average volume start heading higher here on August 15th. Excuse me. August 15th, we saw a spike in volume. We saw a spike in volume on the August 15th, August 16th, around 9 a.m., 10 o'clock, a little spike. And it has been slowly, gradually moving upward, the volume on average, while we're heading lower. So an increase in volume on a market heading lower means that potentially bulls or bears are starting to take over. Now, what probably was more of the catalyst, Wisdom Bars, for today's move down is what I always tell you guys to look at: the Federal Reserve and the financial traditional markets, TradFi as they call them. TradFi markets, we have some fundamental news come out. Fed sees interest rate hikes continuing until inflation eases substantially. That's what the minutes show. They came out today. The minutes from last month, July's meeting. So they're indicating they likely would not consider pulling back on interest rate hikes until inflation came down substantially. So what does substantially mean? Well, they have a target of, what is it, 2%? And yeah, we're substantially above 2% inflation target. So yeah, the hikes are going to continue essentially in the markets. For whatever reason, they're like delusional or whatever. I don't know the right word to use, but I told you guys, I think yesterday or over the weekend, like, I don't know why the markets aren't pricing more hikes in, because we clearly aren't. Maybe it just needed a relief rally, and that's it. No excuse for a relief rally. You just need to have one. It is healthy to have relief rallies. So this is funny. They did not provide specific guidance for future increases and said they would be watching data closely before making that decision. What is the point of the Federal Reserve in their meeting? First of all, what's the point of the Federal Reserve? That's what I want to know. Secondly, what's the point of their meetings? Because first, they're always wrong. Always. You got like 400 economists with doctorate degrees, PhDs, and all this stuff. And they're always wrong. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Market pricing, they say, is for a 0.5 point rate hike at the September meeting. So this article thinks that we're going to see a 0.5 point, or the market feels like we're going to see a 0.5 percentage point or 50 basis point hike at September's meeting. But others say differently. Blockworks says FOMC is not likely to raise rates another 75 basis points, but futures markets are split. So the futures markets, there is a futures markets on these interest rate hikes, and currently we have them priced at 53% think there's going to be a 50 basis point hike, while 48% chance of a 75 basis point hike. That's pretty 50-50. That's pretty split down the middle. So what do you guys think? You think they're going to do a 75 basis point hike in September? I don't know. I'm really uncertain about that. They could. We got to see what happens with the data for the rest of this month. And because I think the hike or the next meeting is going to be on September 20 something, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I can find it in here somewhere. September 20. Yeah, September 20th and 21st. So remember how the Fed does. They meet on the 20th. That's not publicized or broadcasted. And then that Wednesday, it's always on a Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday meeting. So Tuesday they meet. That's the 20th, I think. Should be. Yes. 20th is Tuesday. And then Wednesday, they come out with their speech. Jerome Powell comes out and says it's googly gop. And markets listen and hone in on every single word. And this means that and that means, man, it's just a pony show. I'm telling you guys, it's ridiculous. Sean C. says the goal of the Federal Reserve is to show how clueless the government economic experts are about how the economy works. Pretty much, bro. They've literally, they have, again, this is what I don't understand. How can you have almost a 0% hit rate and still be praised and still be looked at by the markets? That's why I say markets have a tinge of irrationalism. They're not rational. I'm telling you. I know, economic books tell us that markets are rational and equilibrium and all that. Nah, F all that. Markets can definitely be irrational. It's been irrational for quite some time. So let's talk about this here. I caught this one last night while chilling out. New York Post. This was pretty interesting right here, man. Ex-IRS whistleblower says middle class targeted under this new inflation bill. Ooh, so Mr. William Hink, who worked at the IRS for 30 years until departing in 2017, slammed the IRS and others who have argued additional funding would only result in increased audits for billionaires and corporations. Yeah, exactly. I slammed them too, bro. The Inflation Reduction Act. I haven't really talked about it too much. A lot of my peers in the space, I've been seeing videos and with them headlining Inflation Reduction Act and all that. Well, the old Sleepy Joe signed it into law, and one of the things in this Reduction Act, Inflation Reduction Act, it should just be called Wealth Reduction Act. How about we rename that to Wealth Reduction Act? I think that's more fitting. But the article, or what's happening here, part of this Reduction Act is that they're going to double the IRS's budget, appropriating an additional $79 billion to the agency over the next decade. Now, this is funny. The idea that they're going to open things up and go after these big billionaires and large corporations, this is what Hink said, is quite frankly bull. You know what? He told Fox Business in an interview. Yeah, I'm with you, homie. I am with you. So he's saying that the whistleblowers, that the IRS agents are actually going to target businesses who don't have enough money to hire Washington lobbyists. I can see that being the case. That's an easy layup for him. And honestly, he was fired or relieved from his position in 2017, but he started really shedding light on the IRS shadiness in 2013. He was saying like they would go after war vets, just shady stuff and squeeze them, knowing that they don't have the resources to fight it. And he said he had enough of it, and so he began to actually do his whistleblowing in 2013. And I think he went on some media show or outlet in between 13 and 17. And in 17, they just said, I had enough. They can't have whistleblowers in the IRS like that. Wisdom Bar says they needed to fund them guns for the IRS. You're right. But, I'm going to give you both sides of the story and you make up your decision on all of this. I thought this was an interesting take on it. It caught my attention and made me go further and do a little bit more research. And I'm going to show you in a minute the opposite side. Okay. The opposite narrative being painted, and you guys come up with your own conclusion. Before I move to that, it says here Americans with an annual income of less than $75,000 will be subject to nearly 711,000 new IRS audits under the legislation, according to the House GOP analysis that use historic audit rates. By comparison, listen to this. Individuals making more than $500,000, half a milli, will receive about 95,000 additional audits. So you make more money, you're going to get an additional 95,000. You make 75,000 or less, which is damn near working poor, right? It's crazy to say that. 75,000 or less, you're going to get an additional 711,000 new IRS audit. Man, this is crazy. Look at old Sleepy Joe. Who is he looking at? What is going on, Sleepy? Go to sleep, Sleepy. Go to sleep. Kevin McCarthy, I should say. So this is the other side of it, guys. So he was kind of the one that started getting this buzzword about and this talking point about 87,000 IRS agents being hired or going to be hired with this new Inflation Reduction Act. So he's kind of to blame for that. But I will have to say that in this article, it spells it out a little bit better. Okay. Here's McCarthy, what he says. Do you make 75,000 or less? The Democrats' new army of 87,000 IRS agents will be coming for you with 710,000 new audits for Americans who earn less than 75,000. That was his tweet. Okay. So here's the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not an army of 87,000 agents. So the report said that the IRS would add 86,000 new full-time positions. That was the plan. It's nothing written in stone. The Treasury Department says that in the coming months, it will decide how to allocate the new money. So it's not set in stone, this 86,000 number. Now, it goes on to say here that even if they were to, hire that 86,000, not all of the hires will be auditors or work in enforcement. There are a number of departments in the IRS. This is true. So they're kind of true on that. They're kind of correct. They're definitely kind of correct on that. Now, let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in. And so you guys can really see this. Now, this is the part that really did, kind of change my opinion about these headlines. Okay. So check this out. The IRS will lose about 50,000 people over the next 5 to 6 years. They'll be retiring. Okay. They have almost 80,000 employees right now. So just over half, 60% of their employees will be retiring very soon. They have a very old workforce base. Okay. So even if you're taking the whole 86,000, that's a true statement. 50,000 are leaving or retiring in the next 5 to 6 years. So it's not looking as bad as maybe the initial headlines showed. You guys let me know. How do you feel about that? I don't know. Wisdom Bar says they needed. Oh, sorry. Since Cindy Minnie said, I can't imagine that they will get more money than what they are spending. What gives? Biggie was right. More money, more problems, man. Well, no. In this case, less money, more problems. Because if it's true, if what the narrative from the New York Post and what McCarthy is saying is true, which we don't know to be the case, but if it's true, then no. If you make 75 or less, you're getting more audits or more data points or whatever to audit you on. So less money, more problems in this case, if that is the case. But we'll see. This Inflation Reduction Act is a bunch of nonsense anyway. Just political posturing. I'm so sick of it. I know you are. Speaking of taxes, Colombia looking to prevent tax evasion with a national digital currency. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. We know this is the primary reason for any CBDC is to tax easier. Right? That's the whole point. If everything is on a blockchain, then, easy to tax. Can't hide it. So they want to create the new, the new president here of Colombia wants to create a digital currency to prevent illicit financial activity like tax evasion. So, hey, it's coming. But, my question is always, there has to be a loophole in any system, any law, any legislation. There needs to be a loophole for the people who created the law. So I'm just wondering, in a world where we have deep surveillance, fully surveilled financial system, your money is fully surveilled. How are the people who actually make the laws and created this system, how do they circumvent it? That's my question, because it has to be a way. They're not just going to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to willingly be taxed the correct amount. No, that's not going to happen. So I'm just curious as to how that is going to happen. Sean said, sad fact, the retiring IRS employees are still 25 years younger than Sleepy Joe. Damn, that's hilarious. Wisdom bars, I think they're changing out the old agents with the new agents. Maybe government offices moving in for more power in this administration. IRS, FBI. Yes, indeed. They need new agents to run up in your house when you refuse to pay taxes. I'm hearing about, I heard about that whole, agents, armed agents as well. Didn't really dive too deep into that, so I don't know the validity of that and how much truth there is with that. Seba says, of course, politicians never squander an opportunity to deceive through headline references. And it's crazy though, that's true, but it's crazy though, these acts, right? These acts is like in Inflation Reduction Act. So every time I hear one of these bills, the title, all I do is do a inverse, a 1 over that, and take the opposite. That's basically what it is. Patriot Act. The Patriot Act just took away freedom, gave us less freedom, right? What was the one during the pandemic? I can't remember the name. Someone dropped that in the comments. You just take the opposite of that name. Inflation Reduction Act. Just take the opposite of that. That means it's going to be an inflation increase. Oh man, these politicians, boy, I tell you, I'm in the wrong business where, you can be wrong, lie, and still be successful. Where they do that at? That's what I want to know. Ill Cryptmatic says, ready to shoot first and ask questions last. Yeah, no doubt. Escobar in you. Yeah, that's what it should be called. That's hilarious. Cindy Mini says they put a lot of cash and assets in foundations or trusts, I think. Very true. Very true. That is definitely one way to obfuscate where your money is going. BTC, I've been saying it for the longest. Even they need a neutral out. True. So that's very good point. Very good point from a G perspective. Bitcoin might be their way to circumvent things, So, hey, that's maybe why they haven't banned it. Good point. Dr. Moda says ACA bankrupting Americans daily. Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. So this one flew under the radar. I did not hear. Listen, I totally missed this one. I don't know how. This was back from in March. Let me know if you guys knew about this, but the SEC is reportedly targeting NFT markets over potential violations of security laws. And I had a hunch, but I said, nah, they're not going to do this. When the whole NFT craze phase was in full bloom, full blossom, I said, man, government's gonna figure out a way to ICO these hoes. For real, they're gonna figure out a way to literally do what they did to the ICO game, because too many people were making money. It's kind of why I fell back, didn't do any real NFT drops or releases or anything. I just felt like something was wrong here, or was going to be turned into something wrong, right? That's why I never did ICO in 17. I thought about it with my tech startup at that point, but I'm like, nah, and I am glad I didn't. So look, the only reason I was unsure, the only reason Crypto Diamonds never said anything publicly was because I'm like, okay, NFTs are non-fungible. So how can a non-fungible thing be a security? That doesn't make sense. Oh, they're going to make it make sense, though, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this was out in March. The SEC is looking into, especially seeking information on fractional NFTs. That's the main thing. But hey, you think they're going to stop there? Negative. NFTs can be deemed securities if they pass the Howey test, a regulatory standard used to determine if a transaction has an investment contract. So in particular, as I stated, they're looking at fractional NFTs as of now, crypto assets that have been divided or securitized, allowing many investors to own a fraction. Again, how do you own a fraction of something that is non-fungible, but they've done it? So they're going to be looking into that aspect of it, but I'm just warning you guys. This is what I'm saying. I've been saying this for a long time. They start on the fringes. Then they move in. So yeah, they'll start with fractionalized, securitized NFTs. Maybe those are ICOs, or I should say securities, but they will move in further. Believe me, they will move in further. Felt the same about NFTs. A lot of Hollyweird were buying them up. Yeah. So just wanted to drop that piece of information. Put it in your Rolodex, your notebook, whatever. And remember that we talked about this. I did not hear anyone saying anything about this back in March, but Blockworks did cover it. I like Blockworks a lot. Lastly, we're going to talk about this one. This is hilarious because literally over the weekend, I had my man Mind Your Biz on. I had my guy Crypto Keeper from Debate Crypto. Had them on, right? And we talked about NFT marketplaces, OpenSea. OpenSea was one of the subjects on the live stream over the weekend. If you missed it, go back and check it out. But I asked him, I said, no, man, like, why can't we have a decentralized marketplace for NFTs to be sold and bought? And lo and behold, I see this article today. SudoSwap. Yes, the decentralized NFT marketplace. It is gaining a lot of steam. It has gone in over a month. It has gone from like $120,000 worth of total value locked to $3 million. Yeah, $3 million. What is that? Almost a 20x? Crazy. So what is the whole hype and hoopla around this SudoSwap? Well, the issue is, and people are really concerned, this is changing. I actually love this because technology, man, keeps you on your P's and Q's. Pounds and quarters, baby. This site, I'm going to go through exactly what they do and how it all works because it's ingenious. But this site allows buyers and sellers to circumvent, in a nutshell, I'm just giving it to you right now, circumvent royalties. Yes, circumvent royalties. The royalties that are paid to the creator of those NFTs. That's been a big selling point for NFTs, for artists. Royalties. You get secondary and tertiary and just perpetual royalties for every sale after the first primary sale. That is the selling point. But if this catches on, people are just going to use swaps like pseudo swap to circumvent any royalties. Crazy, right? I know, crazy. But what is pseudo swap all about? Well, to start off, this company or this website removes the pesky intermediaries, for better or worse, like, as it's talked about over the weekend, centralized NFT platforms like OpenSea frequently bow to copyright strikes, stopping auctions in their tracks, all types of shit. We already know that. Well, pseudo swap charges only 5% on for fees, not 5%, 0.5% fees on trading, and the funds are sent to the treasury, not creators. So unlike OpenSea, which pays an average of 5% to NFT issuers on secondary sales, while keeping an additional 2.5% for itself, that's a big difference. And you can see why buyers and sellers of NFTs in the secondary market are starting they're flocking to pseudo swap. Now, no one in their right mind as an artist or creator would release over there, right? That just kind of eliminates the leverage that they have. But he says, this guy here from Flaming Dow says, I think most of the volume so far has been NFT owners creating their own pools, bypassing the artist and the creator entirely. So how this works, let me just kind of break it down really quickly, how this whole thing works. So I'm going to scroll up here and read this. If I can find where it was. So, okay, here we go. So the pseudo swap aims to shake up the NFT trading with automated market making algorithms. So AMMs, this sounds very similar to what we know as DEXs and Uniswap and so forth, Pancake Swap and so on. And liquidity pools echoing those that I just mentioned. Poor liquidity and slippage has long plagued the NFT markets. A CryptoPunk might sell for 100K one day, but not garner similar offers for weeks or months, leaving investors confused over exactly how much it's worth. With its own brand of AMMs, PseudoSwap allows NFT traders to buy and sell without having to wait for an offer. Sellers contribute their crypto as liquidity to facilitate smoother automated trades, with orders settling with the pool rather than an individual, all on chain. Yeah, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep, ladies and gents. That is pretty deep. So yeah, if this thing continues to gain speed and momentum, you're gonna see copycats of PseudoSwap, and eventually, OpenSea will probably still be the main hitter, but you'll have some decentralized options where, unfortunately, this is the nature of decentralization. There are pros and cons. Unfortunately, it will be a con for the creators of those NFTs, because any action on those pseudo swaps or anything like it, you ain't getting none of that. So very interesting, very interesting. From a G's perspective, said most of them didn't buy them. They were given the NFTs as promotionals. All a game. I hear you, man. Anybody knows how SEC agents are paid? Do they get commission on fines levied? No, I don't think so. I do not think so. Read something today, Sean C. says, that I hadn't thought of, but how will Lightning Network comply with government rules with blacklisted Tornado Cash? Could Lightning Network be in danger? Well, Lightning Network to me is in danger because it ain't ever gonna work. It's centralized nonsense. It's a hub and spoke infrastructure that The Lightning Network is built on, in my opinion. Not a huge fan of the Lightning Network. Let me know if you guys are. I don't think it'll ever really gain that much traction. Simply because there are other ways to scale Bitcoin, and we've been doing it already. Lightning Network has been promising so much and has delivered very little in the grand scheme of things. Wrapped BTC, there are other ways to scale and make Bitcoin faster. So and not compromise its decentralization nature, its decentralized nature, in my opinion. So that is my 2 satoshis on that. That's it though, ladies and gents. Please hit that thumbs up, smash that like, all that good stuff. Hit those like booties, share the video. This is informative information. You ain't getting it like this very few places on the internet, on YouTube. It's mostly just, sensationalism, right? But you're gonna get it real, you're gonna get it raw right here on CBTV, along with our other contributors. Shout out to From a G Perspective. He is a contributor on the channel. He also just launched his new YouTube channel, so go check that out. And yeah, that's it, ladies and gents. Bloodalytics, boy, we making money. You better come join the team. Gang, we getting it in, baby. It's your boy Crypto Blood. That's my 2 satoshis, and I'm out of here. Holla.